So, welcome to Coffee with Patti. I'm so excited for you to meet my next guest.
Hey there, how are you,
I'm
Patty?
good. I'm good here in Los Angeles. I just wanted to tell you a little bit about how we met. So, 3 years ago, tomorrow, I met you September 24, 2022. My sister had just passed away, and I had been helping her with her medications. And she passed away, and then my husband came and picked me up and brought me to Florida and then brought me to Columbus because my son was playing there. He's a EDM musician. And we went to the La Meridian, and we were, sitting there listening to Katanya, and she's got this amazing voice, and it was so soothing. She brought like the whole place together. And all of a sudden, my alarm went off, and it said that to give Valerie gabapentin, and I just started bawling. And Katanya came and sat down next to me and held my hand and sang, I'll always love you, and I'm just bawling. And from there, I just felt a real connection and closeness with her, and I think I'll show the video. The whole place, when we were together, everybody became one. We were in the lobby listening to her, and then everybody was dancing, and we just all felt connected, and we were all strangers. So that's pretty much what Katanya does. She connects people. So first of all, I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about your childhood and then ease into things.
Okay, all right. Well, I was born in Italy, Naples, Italy.
Oh, wow.
My mom's a retired Army sergeant.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
awesome. Italy. Do you speak Italian?
absolutely not.
No, because I know you traveled around a lot.
Oh, yeah. I was there for about 2 years.
2 years.
Because we roughly, during her military service, traveled every, 2 to 4 years.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, I know you were in Germany for a while.
Yep. Lived in Berlin, Germany.
Berlin. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have a well-rounded upbringing. So what makes you happy today?
Well, just the opportunity. This is something so different, so unique, something you can add to your what have you done in your life list that everybody else doesn't get an opportunity to do. And to share, just to talk and share and have someone listen. That's amazing. I think that's kind of why I kind of even fell in love with my husband, is because wow, this guy let me sit here and talk, and he hasn't said nothing, and he looks actually interested. He's a retired Marine. He's a father. He's from Alabama, and again, just the most humble man you would know. My coffee cup. Can you see it? Be humble.
Oh, be humble. I see that. Well, when I saw you at the La Meridian, I saw that he was very protective over you because everybody kept asking you to sing songs, and you kept singing more and more, and he's okay. Nope, time to go. So he was taking good care of you. So I'm glad. What is his name?
His name's Al.
Al. Hi, Al. So, so I'm wondering, we were talking a little bit about your music. Do you have do you like gospel music?
Love gospel music. That's what I grew up on. But I would say when it comes to music, and do you have a favorite? It would be Whitney Houston. That would be my favorite artist.
Yeah.
And just as how you felt connected with me on that day is kind of how I felt growing up. I didn't listen to secular music. You weren't only allowed to listen to gospel music. And I went to visit my aunt and uncle in Louisiana one summer, and I'm getting ready to go to the youth camp. And I hear this woman who's singing that gives me chills. I believe it was when she released her first album. So she was in her 20s, like 21, I believe. And she was on Good Morning America, one of those morning shows, and she sang The Greatest Love of All.
Oh, I love that song.
Yes.
Do you sing that song?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely,
Yeah,
and,
that's one of my
because,
favorite.
I've tried to sing all of her songs, uh,
Mm,
she's a widely known, artist, just, globally.
sure. Beautiful soul. Yeah. So if you had a famous gospel song, what would that be? Or your favorite?
Oh, a favorite gospel song. My goodness. I'm thinking it was goodness, my grandmother used to sing it, and now I've gotten caught off guard. I don't Patty, come back to me. I know it's gonna come. I know it's gonna come back to me.
Okay.
Oh my
All right. Um, so yeah, we were talking the other day and I was asking you more about your career and you were talking about during COVID, you did something pretty special. Do you want to talk about that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I remember something about the name Jesus.
Oh.
It is the sweetest name I know. And it just, oh, how I love the name Jesus. And it just keeps going. It's how the name of Jesus, just that his
Mhm.
name is
Mhm.
just sweet, sweetest, and it keeps on going. It's sweeter than honeycomb, the sweeter than this, but it's the sweetest name I know. And so
Amen. Yeah.
I think it's something that even that universally,
Mhm.
regardless what your religion is, what you
Mhm.
believe, your beliefs and stuff, if someone says the name Jesus, a lot of times oh, wait a minute, I know who that is. It's
Mhm.
a widely recognized name.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
I love that. I
yeah,
don't know that particular song. I was going to think it would be like Amazing Grace or something, but it sounds beautiful when you sing it. So I could imagine her singing that too.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, we were going to talk about COVID, what you did special during COVID.
COVID was unique, just the
Yes.
whole timeline. So what
Hmm.
did I do during COVID? Just, to sum it all up, is I sang. I
Right.
was unemployed. I sang. And but how did I get from, working, singing to, is COVID, I experienced corporate layoff. Okay, no worries. But a lot of people weren't hiring then, and a lot of people began laying off then. And so when I did get laid off, one of the things they did in Columbus, and you got to tell me if they did this in California, they shut down restaurants and they shut down bars, and they
Hmm.
said, until we figure this thing out,
Hmm.
we're not opening anything up.
Yep.
But there were people that still wanted to celebrate birthdays and anniversaries, and grandparents who were highest at risk to catch COVID. So, you're not even leaving the house, grandma.
Hmm.
Um, how do you do that? How do you do it uniquely? Because a lot of times, a lot of times, what do? Take people to lunch, or
Hmm.
take our friends out for a drink or something, someone would do. So I went around the city of Columbus doing these 20-minute concerts, surprising people at their door, singing, happy birthday. And I'm singing a couple of your favorite Frank Sinatra songs, music, singing to people around the community that had no idea I was going to show up.
Yeah. That sounds wonderful. I think I remember you saying about one couple you went to their house and they were dancing in the front yard and you were singing and they had such a great time. So that's
Oh, yeah.
such a wonderful thing to do during COVID because everybody felt so shut in.
Right,
Um,
right, right.
and then did you go into assisted living places? Was it back then or is that what you're doing now?
That's what I'm doing now, and even looking to even expand and go even, even to more, than just assisted living. There are senior living communities where everyone doesn't necessarily need the assistance, but they said, I no longer want to maintain the 2-floor home and a huge front and backyard and stuff, and I just want almost like a apartment style living or a condo, smaller size living with people in my age group.
Yeah. That sounds really, really smart instead of being alone in a big house.
Right, right, right.
So you want to go there and then they have like entertainment time and you come in and sing with them and
Right. Well, a lot of them have activity directors, And when I
Right.
looked at one community, their activities calendar, it was everything from, hey, on Monday and Wednesday, we do bingo. On Tuesdays is we're working on this 1,000 piece puzzle and, I guess stuff to keep the mind active. But another way to keep the mind active or to wake up the mind is music.
Yes, for sure. I think you've experienced that with Alzheimer's patients.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I had a friend, a former coworker, invite me to where her and her daughter, who was in the Girl Scouts, were volunteering. She said, "Will you come here?" I said, "Absolutely." I'm thinking it was kind of what I was used to, but it wasn't. When I walked into the room, there were a lot of people in wheelchairs.
Mm.
There were some people that might have been in a chair, but they were sitting, and it looked like they might have been sleeping or and then I found out that this is our memory care wing of
Memory
facility
care.
that I was
Okay.
in. And so, with that being said, I was singing, and to people who really just weren't, I would say, paying attention, and they just didn't look interested. But as I
Mhm.
began to sing songs for their era and their generation when they were growing up, heads started waking up, bodies started kind of rocking, left
Mhm.
and right. Like, I remember this. I like this. And one lady, she yelled at me, "Supremes."
Just out of nowhere, like Supreme.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Make sure you sing some Supremes.
Did you?
No,
Oh.
I didn't. I didn't know that one. I sang I sang some other songs from Motown, but I wasn't prepared. I was like, oh, I don't know that one. Now I
Right.
gotta make sure that I add that to the list of a song that I know.
Well, you're a very diverse singer because I think I saw you on one of your Instagram posts that you're singing that Carrie Underwood song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. I think it was that one. But
Yep. Carrie Underwood. What's it called? Before
Before
he
He
cheated.
Cheats, yeah, that one. Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
you're
Frank Sinatra, New York, New York.
mhm.
Yeah. So
Alicia
just all
Keys.
stuff.
You like Alicia Keys
Yep.
songs? Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
that's awesome. So, yeah, what is the most wonderful thing that you experienced when you were doing the sidewalk serenade or during COVID or maybe any
Um,
time?
I would say that there's a couple of them, and they kind of partner together. And the reason why I say that is, you're singing and then you're just singing a song and you just say, you know what, let me change something, about the song. Let me tell them too, since it's just those two I'm singing to hold hands and
Mm,
every time you hear me say something, a lyric I say that, reminds you of the person in front of you, just squeeze their hands so that they know, yep, yep, I love you. Or, sir, is this your wife? I tell you what, I want you to listen to this song. It's not long. It's about a minute and a half. When was the last time you both danced together? And
oh.
he'll say, oh, about 40 years ago.
40 years ago.
And yeah. And so I was like, well, again, it's the song isn't long. It would be Etta James At Last. Sing with your wife. Yeah, I mean, dance with your wife while I sing.
Mm,
So of course they dance together. You'll see a little tear come down, and maybe
aw,
the kids or a neighbor or somebody will break out a phone and record. And then I would get a call. Thank you so much for that dance. You had my dad and mom share. 3 days later, he unexpectedly passed.
oh, wow.
you know, uh,
Mm,
the mom and daughter, it was thank you so much. I
mm,
just want to share with you. You sang Alicia Keys to them, and they found her several days later. She had passed away
oh,
unexpectedly, you know, and there
yeah.
were just so many of these kind of stories or communications, or people will find you. Social media has made it that as long as they know your name, you can be found.
Right.
The internet,
Mhm,
they
mhm.
know that Patty's either on Instagram or she's on TikTok or she's on Facebook. But if they want to find you and they've got your first and last name, you're going to be found.
Right. That's a blessing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's really touching. Um, I know that you said when I first met you, I sent you, I think, the Jesus Calling book,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Yep.
and you messaged me back and you said something like, music is what feelings sound like, and brings people together, binds people together. I completely agree with that. It's music just makes everything better.
Right. And if you take the time to, actually listen to, because sometimes, you might just groove to like, oh my gosh, I love that saxophone solo. And, oh, the keyboard or the piano sounds so great. And you're really not listening to the words. You have to be careful sometimes because you don't know what you're singing and agreeing to.
Right. That's true.
But music, it's something that someone can say, let me tell you why I love that song. I'm going to stand here on the street and wait for you to finish so I can tell you the story of why that song is so important to me, or how it's influenced me, or how it's touched my life, kind of thing. And it binds us together like, wow, really? Oh, I didn't know that,
Yep. And it can bring you back to a certain time.
Yep.
Or a certain memory. Yeah. So that's wonderful. My son always wants me to ask people, if you could say something to your younger self at your worst time, what would you say to yourself to comfort yourself or to give yourself knowledge?
Immediately, what that brings me to is childhood, and what do children typically deal with? Peer pressure and doing, what their friends are doing. So I would say something to myself that really was simply says, you don't have to do that. You don't have to, you don't have to. I never tried drugs. I've never, so I can't say, you don't have to smoke that joint or, pick that, pipe up or anything like that. But there was other things that I did, do because I thought, well, I guess that's what everyone else is doing. But as an adult, to come back to my younger self, to say, you know what, you really don't have to do that.
That's a good one.
I think I'd listen to myself if I saw that it was me.
Wouldn't it be nice if we could have done that? At what we know now, go back to that 8-year-old and tell her, you don't have to do that, or it's not like that. That's not how life is. That's not the real life. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. I think you also told a story about a teacher that had said something to you about, what was that? About the last breath. You have hope. What was that story?
When I think about what's my motto of life, or what do I think about life, I think of when we had Sunday school. And she was a substitute Sunday school teacher because our normal one wasn't there. And so what do? You don't do the assigned work. You try to distract that substitute teacher with just being silly kids and stuff. And we had asked her a question and said, well, would you go to heaven if you did this? And she's like, well, I believe you would. And we were like, oh. And the answer was like, well, explain. And she said, because I believe until the very last breath, there is hope. And that has stuck with me ever since. Every tear, oh my gosh, I've lost, my job's been eliminated again. What will I do? What will I do? And it's okay, because until the very last breath, there is hope. I've had people or friends that I have gotten hospital diagnoses, and it was like, oh my gosh, and they're crying, and okay, let's go to dinner, and I'll cry with you, and it's all right. But until the very last breath, there's hope, and wow, you're cancer free.
Yeah,
because you didn't give up hope. You didn't just immediately say, I've got a cancer diagnosis, now I'm gone, forget it, let me end everything. But you kept that hope, and look at you now.
Yep. Hope is very powerful. It's very powerful. Is there anything else you'd like to share? Do you have any sayings that maybe your mother said, or your grandmother, or husband, or?
No, mom was she was very strict. So, I couldn't go past the mailbox while all the other kids were up and down the street, up and down the street. But mom said, nope, because I can't see you if you go past the mailbox. So couldn't go past the mailbox. I wasn't outside like all the other kids, when it was dark outside. And, a lot of that stuff was like, man, she's mean. I got the meanest mom there is, kind of thing. But she was very strict, and I respect that now because I said, that's where that discipline came from me. And then also the discipline I was able to then, give to my children.
Yes. She was just protecting you. So
Yeah.
you figure that out later. But at the time, you think she's ruining your life because you can't pass a mailbox. Yeah.
Yep, can't mailbox. Can't go outside past the mailbox. I learned the older I got, I listened to the radio, and I'm in the room on the floor with my head next to the speaker, listening to whatever's on the latest radio. In Germany, it was Shadow Stevens. And I remember
I remember Shadow Stevens.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. He must have been
in the 80s? I think it was in the 80s.
It was the 80s, yeah. But he must have been because we were in Germany at the time. So it must have been someone we will network you or send you over there so you can play in those stations. See, I thought he was just a German thing. I thought he was an American in Germany.
It just rings a bell, but I can't remember exactly what. It just seems like he had longer hair than they had back in the 80s.
That I didn't even know. Yeah. That I didn't know because we only had the Armed Forces Network television. So I couldn't switch. I wasn't going like MTV, CBS, ABC. Nope. It was whatever they put on that one American channel that we had. I remember his it was the show I loved to listen to was on the Saturdays. It was like the shadow counts them down. So he counted down the number one song that was in the 80s, late 80s. So that would have been 88, 89-ish for me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I was in California, but by then. So that's probably how I knew about him. So what are you doing now? What are you into now? What is making you happy? What are your plans going forward?
So what am I doing now? I'm singing. I'm singing. And when I say singing, I'm singing everywhere from senior living centers to personal, events, private events, to corporate events, to, hey, will you just sing? And it's for my husband's birthday. We're having a party over at the so-and-so, like the Le Meridien in their banquet hall. And we just want you to be in the corner. Another young lady, they were having almost like a fundraiser for an event that was coming up. And so she was able to put together or get together some comedians. And she said, I just want someone singing as people, come in. Like maybe music will draw them in so I can say, go sit down at your assigned seat and table and area. Weddings, so anything singing.
So how can we find you if we want to book you?
If you wanted to book me, it's anyway. I have a business card. It has my phone number on it. It has my website on it, katanyasings.com. I have people that message me on Instagram who don't know I have a website, but then say, are you available on this day at this time frame? Can, people have found me on Facebook. I talked to my son and he was like, you need a TikTok page, you need a Snapchat, you need an Instagram, you need, I'm like, oh my gosh, all these places, so where can they find you? And the internet has made it that if they can spell my name, they can find me. And then they find me more intimately that way and say, okay, I'm going to email her. I'm going to call her. I'm going to send her a message through one of these social media channels that she's on.
I'm wondering if you could do Zoom entertainment too, like worldwide.
I mean, I guess I've seen people do that. But I've seen people do that, but I think that mine is just so about connection.
Right.
What I mean? like I'm looking at faces. Like the last time I sang I Will Always Love You, the lady to my left at the corner of my eye, I was like, wait a minute, although I'm singing to the audience directly in front of me, and I'm seeing her body change. There's something going on there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was able to just kind of, do this, and with one eye look, and she was bawling.
Oh.
And because that song now meant something different because her husband had just passed.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I love. I would love to go into, our children's hospital, the VA
Oh,
hospital.
right.
And if it's, will you let me sing in the lobby, as people come in, because there's people coming in with heaviness,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that music really, really will lift up that heaviness.
So you're willing to go wherever needed.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes, I do. I do. I started singing on the streets. I sang for 10 years on the streets of Columbus. They had what was called gallery hop. And it was when the art galleries stayed open late till 10 p.m. And that got people out. There were a lot of restaurants and bars and places to go, boutiques, and they had artists out there that would perform. Matter of fact, if you see this picture above me?
Yeah,
Can you see that?
I can
Okay.
see it. It's a little blurry from here, but it'll probably be
Oh,
good on the screen.
I'll have to just take a picture and then send it to you. But it's a picture that while I was singing, an artist came up to my husband and I and said, "Do you mind if I paint you?" And she had like watercolors, and within 2 songs, that painting was created.
Wow.
And so I just like what music brings out of people, their creativity, their feelings, how people stop and dance with one another, or if I look at them, they look like they're singing, and I say, look, I got extra mic, you want to join me? Allow them to live in the moment. And so I've had that where people have lived in the moment, with me, and sang a song that they knew a friend video records, and they're just like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I'm here visiting from California. You know what
Right.
I mean?
That's wonderful. So if you could say to a young girl that's a singer, what advice would you give her that loves singing?
If she loves singing, then continue to do what you love.
Right.
Continue to do what you love. And if it's singing, then sing. If it's something, if it's a craft that you want to develop and get even better at it, then you find there's, people that actually coach singers. I remember watching a biography, or maybe of Celine Dion. And her health has failed a
Oh, yeah.
little since we've known her. When she was in her, the 2000s, when she was really, really on stage. But she continues to do vocal warm ups and things of that nature. And it's like, wow, she still drinks her tea, to
Mm-hmm.
soothe her vocal cords, even though she doesn't perform like she used to. So if it's something that you love to do, find someone that will help you sharpen that craft.
Right. That's good advice. So how would you like to leave us today?
Oh, wow. But you know
Let
what?
it.
There was 2 things. My husband and I found a church that we said this is where we want to call home,
Mm-hmm.
and message that the pastor preached was, how did I get here? And I remember, just listening and just taking notes, but then coming home and taking notes. And how did I get here? But God. You know what I mean? That's all I can say. And so what I just kind of want to run through with you is, how did I get here? And some of the examples was my gift in the Bible. It says it makes room for me. And it talks about how your talents and gifts can create opportunities and lead to recognition and advancement. And I was like, wow, that's all biblical. And I never knew. That's how I got here. The story of like, how did you get I have a book where I save all these newspaper writings, these letters that people send me, these pictures that I, take, with our governor because he wanted me to come and sing the national anthem in his
Oh,
mansion. You know what I
oh.
mean? But just to collecting and remembering all of these. But how did I get this? There's another scripture. If I'm going to keep it, biblical,
Mm-hmm.
it's what was meant for evil, God would turn around and make it for my good.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, man, there's so many things that I have gone through: a divorce, an epilepsy diagnosis, multiple job losses. I had COVID twice, acid reflux that kind of, when I finally got it addressed and treated, it did damage a vocal cord.
Oh, no.
A brain surgery, unexpected, where I almost died.
Oh,
Um,
God.
my appendix. I came home and I was like, man, I got to use the bathroom, and man, I'm sick, I'm vomiting, and this is not feeling well. And I was rolling around on the ground all night, and finally, my husband was like, you got to go to the ER. Even though I resisted and didn't want to. And ultimately, the answer was, your appendix needs to be removed. I totaled a car.
Oh, God. You've been through a lot.
Yeah, been through a lot. But how did I get here where
Mm-hmm.
I'm still somebody that people say, I want you? Because a lot of that stuff made me feel like, oh man, now this, a lost job, now what?
Mm-hmm.
A divorce, now what? An epilepsy diagnosis, now what? Wait a minute, I almost died. I thought I was
Wait
sleeping.
a
Oh,
minute. Yeah. Oh,
you know, so I think about all of that. How did I get there? And but what has sustained me? What has kept me going when I've had downtime, down days, or times that I wanted to be, sad? I'm reminded that the Bible says that my good gift would make room for me and bring me before kings and queens and rulers of high, places. And sure enough, absolutely. Maybe not kings and queens title wise, but in leadership roles that has slowly helped me transition, my life to where I am now.
yeah. That's a beautiful way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can't wait to see, more of you and more of what, you can do for people. You really helped me at a really, really hard time of my life. And I'll always feel connected with you because of that.
Oh, thank you.
And
I still have my
I know I brought mine too. And I was I
my
was looking at I was reading it this morning, and then
Mhm.
I always put little notes in my book, and it was like I met you tomorrow. I wrote
Wow.
I met a
Something.
singer in Ohio, and she made me cry. And she held my hand, and
Wow.
that was in 22, so that was almost exactly 3 years ago. Yeah.
Wow. And see, mine is so pretty, like I never wanted to write in it, but you know what?
Mm.
Maybe I will.
No, I
Maybe
write.
I
This is kind of like my calendar because I can say, "Oh, last year I was doing this, and 3 years ago I was doing that, and this meant a lot at this time." And so
wow.
it really helps me. This is an excellent book,
Yes.
daily
Yeah, yeah.
devotional. If
Yeah.
anybody wants to read it,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think today it talked about, although many prayers are unanswered. You know what I mean? It was one line in the book. But that God was still, there, still listening and stuff. And a lot of times we pray, and you know, but we want the answer right now. So
Hmm.
we pray, God, I need a job. So give me that interview tomorrow so I can start working on Monday. And why didn't you hear me? I'm still looking for a job. It's 2 weeks later, it's 2 months later, but continue to pray, continue to believe, continue to have, faith,
Hmm.
because God is listening. He
It's His
is listening.
timing. It's in
There
His
you,
timing, right?
there you go. There
His
you go. Yes, ma'am.
His timing's way better than ours. I mean, my sister Val and I used to pray like every Saturday, and we'd
Hmm.
pray about certain things, and it's like, why did it take so long? And then usually it was something way better than we asked for at the end of it.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Huh?
also with Val, sometimes I'd ask her to pray for something. I was like, oh, why did I ask her? Because I'm going to get the answer, you know? So yeah, this is very special. And I wish you all the best. And did you want to add anything else before we get off?
No, I've been. How did I get here? That's kind of
That's how did
my,
I get there?
what I'm thinking. How did I get
Mm-hmm.
here? Ask yourself too, Pat. How did I get here?
Yeah.
Some, just wow. How did I survive that? How did I get
Mm-hmm.
here? Like wow, how did I get here?
Mm-hmm.
When you look around and think about how beautiful, things are around you, or just wow. So that's just kind of what's been on my mind, and just
Yeah.
how did
How did
I
I
get
get here? Through the grace of God and through good husbands. It looks like we both have really good husbands and supportive husbands. So that's very
here?
helpful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I agree.
I pulled, my son bought me this little jar where you pull Bible verses, and I pulled it, and today it said, "Let us come before you with thanksgiving and exalt you with music and song." So it made me think of you.
Wow.
And there's another one about song here too. "Sing and make music from your heart to the Lord, always giving thanks to God the Father for everything, in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ." Ephesians 5:19 and 20. So I pulled
Okay.
that for you. So that was kind of a message
Thank
that you're doing the right thing.
thank you.
And I really wish you the best of luck. And I always want to do what my mother said, and it's, you really are loved just the way
Mhm.
you are, more than you know.
Wow.
And thank you so much for your time.
I won't lose connection with you.
Definitely
Now I
not.
really know how to. Yeah, now I really know how to find you.
You do. All right. God
Thank you
bless. Thank you
for
so
tuning.
much.
God bless you too. Thank you.